Hi everybody, this is Dan from AutoTask.me, and we've got a new upgrade and I want to show you exactly how to use it. And it's super powerful. It's going to allow you to do things so much more effectively and help your business be more profitable. So let's dive in. So basically, after you log in and you want to go to manage your auto tasks, you click on Manage Auto Tasks, and we'll give it a second here. And then you'll see we've changed the color scheme a little bit just to get people's attention. We think it looks a little more sharp too, but nonetheless, we wanted that change so you can get in there. And so look at the blue area here. These are our tasks that exist. If you go into your site right now, all your tasks will say trigger using deal status trigger only, and that's fine. That's how the uh, most recent version of AutoTask for templates for high-rise works, and it's going to continue to work for that if you don't touch anything. So don't worry about it if you got all your tasks set up the way you want it. But this new feature gives us the ability to create tasks based on other tasks being completed. So basically, what we can do is once we create our first task that's triggered by the deal status and triggered by a category, then all the other tasks can be triggered off subsequent tasks. So here we have a task instruction of call the new customer and set an appointment. Okay, and I put some notes here so we can follow along. So, but those won't show up. It just says this is task 1. It triggers 0 days after the deal is won. So the strategy consulting deal is won, and boom, this this task gets created. It's assigned to the deal owner, and then we have the second task, fill out paperwork. Okay, this is task number 2. It's triggered from task ID number 1. You can see that. Here's task ID 1 listed there. Here's task ID, the following one. That's it's triggered from actually task ID 34, and they just stack up, and it's really slick. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and create another task, and we want this task to actually be generated or triggered by this last task. Hey, the audit is scheduled. So I'm going to create a task. We're going to find that task that we want it to bounce off of, and here it is. Hey, the audit is scheduled. Call the customer. Okay, and you'll notice it doesn't allow you, I'm clicking here, it doesn't allow you to select a deal status trigger or a deal category trigger. Of course, I can set this for, let's do it the day after. This is a task instruction. So the audit has been scheduled. Call the customer, and then so after that is done, then we can billing. Billing. There we go. Contact billing. So, I'm just putting a little note here based on complete task. I think it's 3 or whatever. So, so anyhow, those are just notes for me, so you understand what's going on here. So this is fine. It's going to happen 1 day after. There's no category. Let's go ahead and save the task. So that's been saved, but I want you to notice something. That task won't show up in our drop-down list until we actually reload the page. And sorry about that. We're working on that. That'll be fixed eventually here. So I just hit refresh. The page is refreshing right now. It seems to be taking a minute, and it's coming up, and we're going to see that now when we go to add a task, that last item is there. So if you don't see your task, go ahead and refresh your page, and then you can choose your task from there. And here it is at the bottom, contact billing. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tasks. The first one's based on the status trigger of the deal being won, and then they go from there. So let's go and jump into high rise. Let's create a deal here, and let's see if we can do something here. So let's add a deal. We're going to call this one um, my deal one. Okay. Describe the deal. One is deal, and we'll say it's worth $22,222. Great. Now we have to assign the right category, and remember it's strategy consulting, and those get automatically populated in case you don't know. So whatever, if you edit your categories, so I'm going to hit that, and we create a new category. It's going to show up right there in HighRise, or in AutoTask templates for HighRise. So here we are. Who can see it? Everyone. So I clicked the add the deal at the bottom there, and that deal got added. Now my deal 1. Now remember, our first task is triggered when this gets 1. So it's asking me, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure I want it to be 1. And so now within 10 minutes, that task is going to be triggered. So I'm going to put you on pause. We'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back, and I'm just going to hit refresh. And we should see a deal come up. Yep, so call the new customer and set an appointment. So we won the deal. We're going to set an appointment. This is task 1. It tells me it triggers 0 days after the deal is won. So that one's done. So now, though, remember all our subsequent tasks are triggered based on the completion of another task. So let's complete this task. Well, how do we do that? We just check the checkbox here, basically saying it's completed. It shows that way, and eventually it'll show up in my list down here. But so now it's triggered, and in a few minutes that will run and generate a task here. So I'm going to put you on pause again, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so here we are, and now we see that we got 2 tasks, because if we look back in AutoTask, we can see that 2 tasks are triggered from task 1. So here's the task 1, what we call task 1 here. 2 of them are triggered from task 1, and that's just fantastic, and that's exactly what we want to happen. And so let's go back and look what happens when we check these guys off. So we're going to check these off. One of them doesn't do anything, but this one actually is sent out to one of my coworkers. Tell him to schedule the audit and do all that stuff. It's task 2A. So we got a task 1 that we're done, and then when task 2A is done, let's go ahead and look back at AutoTask. When task 2A is done, that's this one. Hey, the audit is scheduled. Call the customer. So back to the deal owner. So here's the one that goes to Brad. Here's one that goes back to the deal owner. Call the customer, and then finally we're going to do ours. So let's go ahead and accelerate the process and see what happens. So let's go ahead and check that as completed, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, and here we are, and task number 3 was now triggered from task 2A, and hey, call the audit schedule, call the customer, let them know. And finally, let's click this one off, and we'll wait for it to. And here's our final task, and that's great. And once that's done, then hopefully billing will send out an invoice, and we'll make a lot of money. So that's AutoTask templates. I hope that was clear how that works. It's a little complex, but really, if you think about, you just want the trigger based on someone completing a task. And if you get that in your head, then there's no problems you'll have using this and really kicking your business into overdrive. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.